obviously, the Spectre is from DC Comics. First appeared in More Fun Comics in February of 1940. So
A while back.
he's a pretty damn old character. He was created by Jerry Siegel and Bernard Bailey.
Jerry Siegel. Wasn't he one of Superman?
I believe so, yeah. His real name is Aztar, the Angel.
Quite the choice.
Yeah, Aztar.
AZTAR.
And of course, he's went by other names since you only find out his name kind of fairly recently, before the New 52 though. But he's always went by the names of his various hosts that he had. He has been associated with the Justice Society of America, the All-Star Squadron, the Archangels, Justice League, and Justice League Dark. He's had partnerships with his human hosts, Jim Corrigan, Hal Jordan, and Crispus Allen. And let's see here, notable aliases. He has went by the Spirit of Vengeance, the Spirit of Redemption, the Avenging Wrath of God, the Ghostly Guardian, and the Man of Darkness. So it's got a good set of aliases here.
The Man of Darkness.
The Man of Darkness.
There'd be a Batman one there.
Well, I think
You
that
would think, yeah.
Yeah. And an alternate story, he's been associated with Oliver Queen from the Arrowverse, where Oliver Queen became somehow the Spectre.
In the Arrowverse? He did?
It was stupid.
It's wild.
And that's the whole reason I'm combine these two in this podcast. Did you have Green
Smith
Arrow?
was part of the his universe too.
Yeah.
He wrote a few stories for the Flash.
Yeah.
And he had like the actual characters of him and Jay and Silent Bob in there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I think that's why they incorporated the Spectre into that. Because he had a huge contribution to the redemption arc of Spectre. All right. Starting off with the Golden Age. The Spectre debuted in Morphin Comics in February 1940 with a hard-boiled cop, Jim Corrigan, on his way with his fiancée, Clarice, to their engagement party. He's murdered by thugs who stuff him into a barrel filled with cement. Which,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I got dark quick as fuck.
Which is then thrown into a body of water. It's never specified as to what body of water, though. Could have been a river, could have been a little lake, pond, nobody knows.
They just throw him in some... they just find some fucking backyard with a pool. Like, bitch!
Corrigan's spirit is refused entrance into the afterlife and is instead sent back to Earth by an entity referred to only as the Voice to eliminate evil. The Spectre seeks bloody vengeance against Corrigan's murders in grim, supernatural fashion. And that is one thing, like the old books and the ones from the early 2000s with the Spectre, they were very gruesome.
He just like takes a whole bunch of change, right? And he like magically levitates it up to someone's ass and they come out with rolls of quarter. Like full rolls.
Just with body parts wrapped around it.
No, like actual rolls of coins.
Just rolls of coins.
It's all supernatural. It's like, what the fuck?
One of them is turned into a skeleton upon touching him. Corrigan then soon creates his signature costume, breaks off his romance with Clarice, and continues to live as Jim Corrigan. Assuming the
I can't date you, I'm the spirit of vengeance. Get off me, you whore.
Assuming the secret identity of Spectre whenever he is needed. He eventually turns down an offer to relinquish his mission to destroy all evil. The Spectre is soon awarded charter membership in the first ever superhero team, the Justice Society of America, in All-Star Comics. Jim Corrigan is resurrected in More Fun Comics, January 1942, after which the Spectre's ghostly form enters and emerges from Jim Corrigan, functioning independently of him. During the mid-1940s, the popularity of the superhero comics began to decline, and the Spectre was reduced by playing the role of guardian angel to a bumbling character called Percival Pop, the super cop.
Percival Pop? The super cop?
I have never seen...
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Or sorry, Percival
Pop.
The super cop.
God, that'd be a hard fucking name to say all the time. Percival, you dumb son of a bitch.
Who first appeared in More Fun 74, December 1941. When Corrigan enlisted in the military and...
Wait, and the comics declined that quick from one year to the next?
Yeah.
Because he debuted in 40, and then by 41, there was always decline in superheroes comics?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Quick.
I thought our detention pass fan was low now.
Well, it's because of World War II.
I thought they liked comics more because they had nothing to do overseas. They were just shipping out comics like by the fucking truckload.
So when Corrigan enlisted in the military and departed to serve in World War II in More Fun Comics 90, April 1943.
That sounds a lot of fun. More fun.
And more fun.
Even more fun, World War II.
The Spectre became permanently invisible, becoming a secondary player in his own series. The feature finale installment was in issue 101, February 1945, and the Spectre made his last appearance in the superhero group the Justice Society of America at roughly the same time in All-Star Comics number 23, winter 1944 through the 45.
Damn.
So that was a Golden Age original Spectre.
Yeah.
The one that was the Wrath of God, but it had that kind of Golden Age setting for him. He had some gruesome things, but not what you would expect, mostly from now. He wasn't licking skulls like Blackest Night. Silver Age. In the mid-1950s and 60s, Silver Age Age of comic books, DC Comics editor Julius Schwartz revived the Spectre and returned him to the role of avenging undead spirit. Beginning in Showcase 60 in 1966, under writer Gardner Fox and penciler Murphy Anderson, his power was vastly increased, and at times he approached omnipotence. In 1987, magazine retrospective on the character said that this revival had been initially... God, if I can even fucking talk. This revival had been initially announced as a team-up with Dr. Midnight. After a 3-issue tryout and showcase, the Spectre appeared in the superhero team Justice League of America number 46 through 47, in that year's team-up of the titular group and its 1940s predecessors, the Justice Society of America. A few months later, he co-starred with the Silver Age Flash in The Brave and the Bold number 72.
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, he actually appeared with the Flash in
like that Batman series.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the most iconic voice so far. No, I know Kevin Conroy was great, but just the guy that did it was so hilarious.
It was a lot more fun, though. The Spectre was given his own title, premiering in 1967, while simultaneously making another appearance in The Brave and the Bold in 75. This time teaming up with Batman, which that kind of actually fits, though. Batman and the Spectre.
Well, he was in the show, too, I think. Come to think of it, that Batman Brave and Bold?
Yeah, with the Phantom Stranger.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Where they had a bet between the two of them on what way I think it was Bruce would go.
Wow.
The vengeful way or the forgiving.
I'm sure. Well,
it's like he's in the middle.
A little wishful. More skewed toward vengeful.
In the Spectre, the creative credits varied widely over the 10 issues published, with introduction of the then newcomer to the comics, Neil Adams, who drew issues 2 through 5 and wrote issues 4 through 5. For its final 2 issues, the comic book became an effective horror anthology, with the title character being little more than a narrator in several short stories.
I'm the Watcher. I watch all.
Basically, that's kind of what they turned him into. The Spectre...
I never interfere.
That was
a bit of a pervert, actually.
That's the Watcher, though. The Watcher's a fucking pervert.
I watch everything. I watch every shit.
But it'd be fun. It's like, I watch everything.
Damn near everything. They all nasty.
Just let the universe get erased. The Spectre title suffered from the same problem that vexed the Golden Age series, writing meaningful stories using a character that is virtually omnipotent. The end of this area came to at a climax of another JLA-JSA crossover, with Dr. Fate frees the ghostly Guardian from a crypt in time to block a collision between Earth-1 and Earth-2 caused by an alien device planted in Red Tornado. The Spectre's body is torn apart when Dr. Fate creates a massive explosion to destroy the device and return the colliding Earths to their own dimensions. So, basically, he suffered the same issues that he did in the Golden Age, where they didn't know how to use him.
Same with Superman?
Kind of,
that motherfucker just throwing planets at one point?
Yes.
He's like, fuck it.
Sneezed planets away.
Sneezed planets. God dang.
So it's even worse than what you would think.
I guess like they kind of balanced him out, and the Superman now, like he's still like Superman, but not like fucking Superman, you know? Because man, he was fucking something else back then.
Well, what was the one where Manchester was the main villain? I think.
I'd hate to be the guy. You gotta write the Incredible Hulk comic. Fuck.
I know. I would think it would be hard. Like trying to find, like you have to go, instead of doing like everything they can do, show things that they can't do in the comics. Would be my thing. Like showing, like, how do you handle dealing with this kind of thing that's not, you know, a world shattering event? Because generally Superman can do those kind of things.
Right.
I think that's why a lot of even the Batman the Animated Series, or whenever they had Superman join in and had the New Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't all about him only fighting. It had other issues in there. I think they actually did it pretty well. Like, a day of just him dealing with Mr. Mixbillick. Like, just fucking him over all day. And then you have Mr. Mixbillick going back just pissed off every time he says his name backwards. Like, they at least had to try. Now it's like, they've ruined so many things. Superman's not even funny. Moving into the Bronze Age, in the 1970s, DC revived the Spectre again. The superhero anthology series.
Guess who's back?
Back again. He's like Eminem, he just kept coming back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Only this time in Adventure Comics. So, they tried to bring it back again. Editor Joe Orlando explained that this was the Earth 1 version of the Spectre, though some at DC said otherwise. Later stories explained that the Spectre had moved from Earth 2 and taken over the body of Jim Corrigan of Earth 1, beginning with a 12-page The Wrath of the Spectre in issue 431. Let's see here. It became controversial for what was considered gruesome, albeit bloodless, violence. Which is kind of weird to say. Gruesome yet bloodless.
It's weird for someone to be upset with the violence.
Yeah.
Usually upset with nudity. Like, I saw some titties. I can't stand that.
In the series letter column, some fans indicated uneasiness with the depiction.
Uneasiness?
Yeah. So basically,
I can't jerk off to this.
Well, it shows, apparently it was because Jim Apato's art showed criminals being transformed into everything from broken glass to melting candles, but they were quick to point out that the most bizarre plot devices were lifted from stories published decades later.
So he just recopying?
I think so.
Oh.
But that's not, like, turning somebody into glass and then breaking them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that fucking bad.
I mean, that'd be a horrible fate, but...
Like, I wouldn't they would just, shatter, right?
Yeah.
Like, when they start fucking organs just pop out? Still normal? Like, imagine the outer shell's glass, right?
Right.
So when he falls, just a fucking organ just fucking spill out.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, fuck.
Well, remember, it's bloodless,
So there you go. See, nothing happened.
No. Let's see. The series was canceled with 3 scripts written, but not yet drawn.
Damn.
Several years later, these remaining 3 chapters would be penciled by Aparo, lettering and inked by others, and published in a final issue of Wrath of the Spectre, a 4-issue miniseries in 1988 that reprinted the 10 original stories in their first 3 issues and 3 newly drawn stories in the 4th one. Fleischer has stated that
I'm fucking big with these damn comics. Like, that many stories, or how short were the stories?
Probably short.
Damn.
I would assume. Fleischer had stated in 1980 that only 2 scripts were left undrawn. The Spectre also made a guest appearance in the Dr. 13 feature in Ghosts, number 97 through 99, and would go on to periodic guest appearances in other DC titles, such as The Brave and the Bold, DC Comics Presents, and All-Star Squadron. So he was more of like a cameo character at that point. A new Spectre series was planned for 1986 with Steve Gerber as writer. However, Gerber missed the deadline for the first issue so that he could watch the last day of shooting on the film Howard the Duck.
Wow, great choice.
And DC canceled the series in response.
Go watch that fucking garbage as opposed to write a story.
Yeah, so they canceled the series for that.
By the way, they were so... Howard the Duck was so nonchalant about bestiality.
Yeah.
I can't fucking get over that fact.
Among the many changes made to DC Comics characters during the later half of the 1980s, following the Crisis on Infinite Earths miniseries, the Spectre fought the Anti-Monitor largely depowered. So basically, like whenever he was arm wrestling him.
Who was depowered, the Anti-Monitor or the Spectre?
The Spectre.
Okay.
Prior to this, the Spectre was revealed to be a guardian at the entrance to Hell in Swamp Thing, which...
Let me see your passport. I'm gonna need you to see your passport real quick.
Then, in the conclusion to Moore's American Gothic storyline in Swamp Thing, the Spectre is defeated by the Great Evil Beast. Next, in the last days of the Justice Society of America special, the Spectre fails to resolve a situation and is punished by God for his failure.
What do you fail at?
I think saving them.
Oh. It's like, I tried.
And then in his 4th solo series and 2nd self-titled comic, The Spectre, underwriter Doug Monique
Dimmadome.
Corrigan became the central figure in the storyline of an occult-oriented private detective agency. The Spectre's powers were significantly reduced there, and even the act of emerging from Corrigan's physical body being painful to both.
I deal with the supernatural, so you don't have to.
This run ended with issue number 31. A few months after this, the Spectre had a cameo in writer Neil Gaiman's The Book of Magic, a 4-issue miniseries starring many DC occult characters. So basically, Neil brought him back again, but like as a little side cameo character. But that also ties him in with Lucifer and a bunch of other, like, now canon DC characters and stuff like that. Then we move into the modern era. So 3 years after the cancellation of the Doug's version, the Spectre was again given his own series, this time written by writer and former theology student John Ostrander, who chose to re-examine the Spectre in his aspects as both the embodied avenging wrath of the murdered dead and as a brutal 1930s policeman. Ostrander placed the
other night of October 7th, between 7:15 and 9:20. I'm the Spectre. That's so weird. Like an old copper from the 1930s movies.
Here, see?
I'm gonna catch him, see? And when I do, he's gonna feel the wrath of the Spectre, see?
They're still looking for the mobsters.
They're still trying to find the pool that they lost. Once we find that pool, we can find his body. And the body, we can find maybe some prints.
So Ostrander placed the Spectre in complex, morally ambiguous situations that pose certain ethical questions. One example being, what vengeance should be wrought upon a woman who killed her abusive husband in his sleep?
A high five.
Other notable dilemmas include the nation of Vlatava.
Vlatava, great choice, Mr. Writer. You sounded the most realistic fucking. You couldn't fucking find a real fucking country.
The history of which was an endless cycle of civil war, ethnic cleansing, retribution, and blood feuds that had endured for centuries.
The
Spectre responds.
That's right.
It doesn't think fit all of them. I think so. The Spectre responded by judging the whole nation guilty, razing the land and killing the entire population except for 2 opposing politicians. One of them, the civilian supervillain Count Vertigo.
Count Vertigo.
So that's where Count Vertigo comes from.
Damn.
So Spectre destroyed the entire country.
Why did he leave them two?
Probably to show what happens whenever 2 political sides are fighting. You get everything destroyed, and you're the only one standing at the end with nothing.
Like a Vertigo hits him, which did like he said back like I'm dizzy for some reason, and he just leaves. I'm slightly dizzy.
I'm just slightly dizzy, huh?
Weird. And he fucking walks off.
I finally got buzzed. Then another example was the pending execution of a wrongfully convicted man. His death sentence was commuted to life imprisonment after the Spectre threatened to kill the entire population of the state of New York in retribution, arguing that if the execution was carried out, the people of the state of New York would become guilty of murder in his eyes.
I mean, what the fuck did I do? I'd be kind of fucking mad.
And then another one was a 90-year-old woman who had spent her entire life trying to atone for the single murder she had secretly committed in the 1920s. The Spectre found her on her deathbed.
She was the one that dumped that body into the fucking cement.
She was the one that carried it. Ostrander also added several new concepts into the Spectre's history. He revealed that the Spectre was meant to exist as the embodiment of wrath of God, and Jim Corrigan was but the latest human spirit assigned to guide him while he existed on Earth. It was also shown that the Spectre was a fallen angel named Astar, who had participated in Lucifer's rebellion, but then repented, and that serving as the embodiment of God's anger was his penance.
Damn.
So it kind of makes sense why he has to do everything God says at all times. Furthermore, the Spectre was not the first embodiment of God's anger, but was a replacement for the previous minor DC character, Eclipso.
Eclipso. Is that why she was added to the Day of Vengeance?
Yeah.
Because of her little, like, I guess her connection to him?
To the Spectre, because she was the first one. Ostrander chose to portray this as a distinction between the Spectre's pursuit of vengeance and Eclipso's pursuit of revenge.
Hmm.
Because vengeance and revenge are different. Not by much, but they are different. In a historical context, Eclipso was responsible for the biblical flood, while the Spectre was the angel of death that slew the firstborn Egyptian children.
Damn.
Because think about it, Eclipso is the one that is like destroying everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but then Spectre's coming through as the vengeance spirit and only killing those responsible for death.
Hmm.
Where Eclipso destroyed everything. The Spectre and Eclipso have battled numerous times throughout history, but neither entity can be fully destroyed. So the Spectre's stronger, but he can't destroy Eclipso. Because Eclipso is like one of these beings created from God that he can't destroy. The Spectre also played a pivotal role in the Crisis of Infinite Earths and Zero Hour Crisis in Time. In both cases, in the final struggle against the main villain, the Anti-Monitor, and Parallax, the Spectre is the only hero capable of withstanding against the villains directly, allowing other heroes time to put a plan into action that would destroy the villains once and for all. Although all of these versions are usually considered to be from the Earth 2 of the pre-Crisis DC multiverse, the same continuity started during the Golden Age. So at this point in DC's history, the Spectre is considered still the Golden Age Spectre.
Okay.
He's the same being.
Same character.
Yep.
Hmm.
So like how Justice Society of America had a Superman and Batman from Earth 2, I think is what it was. They're not the same. Like they're different worlds where this Spectre is literally the same character.
Okay.
An Earth 1 version of the Spectre was shown to team up with Batman and Superman on a few occasions at that point. Then after that, we go into the Hal Jordan Spirit of Redemption arc. So eventually Corrigan's soul finds peace, and he's done being the Spectre. He relinquishes the spirit of the Spectre force and goes to heaven. The role of the Spectre is later assumed by Hal Jordan, the spirit of the former Green Lantern, during the Day of Judgment storyline written by Jeff Johns. When a fallen angel attempts to gain the Spectre's power, Corrigan is asked to come back but refuses as he has found peace. The Spectre Force chooses Jordan as a new host because Jordan seeks to atone for his universe-threatening actions as the villainous Parallax. So he's like, you want to redeem yourself? Be my host. You basically let me use your spirit. His next appearance was in a 4-part story arc in Legends of DC Universe, number 33 through 36, in the series The Spectre, written by J.M. DeMatteis. Jordan bends the Spectre's mission from one of vengeance to one of redemption, and makes appearances elsewhere in the DC Universe, such as advising Superman that during the Emperor Joker storyline, or helping Wally West keep his family safe by erasing public knowledge of his true identity.
That's nice.
Yeah, so he erased everybody's knowledge of who Wally West was. Because I think he had to reveal himself, like to show his true identity at some point, or can't remember that storyline very well though. Kind of like how, what was it, Doctor Strange basically did the same thing for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
It's basically the same storyline, only earlier. And 2001, Green Arrow storyline Quiver, which we talked about earlier. They revealed the Spectre, Hal Jordan, is aware of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. He is one of the few DC Universe characters with this knowledge, though. Because whenever DC reset itself after Crisis on Infinite Earths, Spectre was one of the ones that actually retained everything from before. So he still has pre-crisis abilities, powers, everything. Where Superman did not.
Bruce Banner forgot Spider-Man. The Hulk didn't. You ever seen that little panel? It was in the comic books. Apparently, it was the same thing as the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Where they erase everyone's a knowledge of Peter Parker being Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, the Hulk remembers Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, the Hulk remembers.
Hulk remembers.
He owe me $50 too, you asshole.
That's why because he's so angry.
Yeah.
He still holds resentment.
So Bruce Banner doesn't know he's Peter Parker, but the Hulk does.
That's weird.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because I guess Bruce Banner doesn't have the memories of Hulk for everything. Huh. I never think about that.
You know his dick stays the same size when he turns into the Hulk? That's why he's so mad.
Little dick.
Bullshit.
Because it's not a muscle, so it doesn't get big.
That would be fucking living.
Just a little.
Especially like proportionally, my God. Like a fucking micro penis.
That's why Hulk's perpetually mad. Because the bigger he gets, the smaller it
And
looks.
he gets even madder. It's a never-ending cycle. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
That's a perfect line for you, though, ain't it? All right. After the Spectre Volume 4 was canceled, Jordan was forced to return temporarily to the Spectre's mission of vengeance. Following a confrontation between the New Justice Society of America and the Spirit King had managed to resurrect the ghost of all of those the Spectre had damned to hell. As Hal's attempt to turn the Spectre's mission to redemption weakened, and his hold on the damned basically started to, like his Spectre's ability to keep damned people in hell started to wane. So while Hal Jordan was trying to turn him into a redemption character, it forced his power over hell to kind of wane. Yeah. So inadvertently, Hal Jordan fucked everybody. Like, yeah.
You think there's a group of people or a person and like the headquarters of the comic book places that has the full I guess authority over continuity?
No.
Like you think like in my head, like if I owned a massive fucking series that hinges on continuity, I would have like a special like department in my fucking company of like 8 or 9 people that have the job of having to read every fucking comic book within,
Which is what you would expect.
right? And then they have to keep all the information written down on some computers and like double like fucking copied, and like the writers and have to call in like I gotta call the fucking archive, and they fucking put it like, hey, when did Batman? And like it was issue 17, 1943.
That'd be cool though. Like
That's what I would do.
But you can tell that they don't. That's why they have to retcon so much shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's always the way it is, though. All right. The Spirit King had managed to resurrect these ghosts. As Hal's Jordan, it had changed the Spectre's mission. The JSA attempted to keep the spirits contained, but ultimately they were only defeated whenever Hal accepted his original mission of vengeance. So instead of being a redemption superpowered creature,
Yeah.
okay, we'll go back to vengeance. Fine. Concluding that his goal of redemption was only about helping himself. So he realized it was only like, instead of going against the natural order, he was doing it for personal reasons. In Green Lantern Rebirth, written by Johns, the Spectre Force decision of choosing Jordan as its host was retconned into not being because of Jordan's worthiness, but as an effort to destroy the Parallax entity, which was infecting Jordan's soul. After the Spectre Force was able to purge Parallax from Jordan, it departed to move on to the next recipient of its spirit. Then we move into Day of Vengeance is when we see him next.
Day of Vengeance.
Yep.
That's when he didn't have like a guiding soul, so he's kind of like fucking losing his mind.
Well, that was after losing Hal Jordan. Right after that.
Okay.
Like that's the continuity anyway. Is that Hal Jordan had went to heaven or like found peace or whatever it is that was going on, and then this is with him like even years later, no host at this point. So without a human host, the Spectre Force becomes unstable and goes on a vengeance-fueled rampage, to say the least. Not only is he killing murderers, he also kills people for minor crimes, such as petty theft.
Motherfucker, are you jaywalking?
Like there was I think it was a little girl that stole money out of her mom's purse.
Yeah, like
And he
around her
coins.
pennies and shit. Yeah, I remember that. That's the one that pops up the most out of all of them.
It's so fucked up.
It's ingrained in my memory.
Its lack of human host deprives it of the ability to effectively judge the sins in their appropriate context. As detailed in the mission's miniseries Day of Vengeance, Jean Loring is transformed into the new Eclipso, the one that had killed fucking elongated demands.
Killed his wife?
Yeah.
Or does Weber have? Or was her?
Or was it Adam? Because she was married to Adam,
She was
wasn't
somebody, yeah.
Yeah, because it was in that the Identity Crisis storyline. Eclipso explains to the Spectre that all things that follow the rules of physical universe follow God's law. Anything that breaks those rules thus breaks God's law and is therefore evil. Consequently, as magic breaks the rules of the physical universe, it is an originating source of tremendous evil.
Like, you know what? You're spitting facts right now. That makes so much fucking sense to me right now.
And it did.
Like, you're right. He's like fucking winding him up.
That basically this line of logic makes sense to the unstable Spectre Force. The Spectre destroys magical constructs, institutions that teach magic, and magical dimensions.
And devastated Hogwarts. Harry Potter haven't recovered since.
The 9 3/4 platform's gone.
He's like a Spectre Patron.
In one such dimension, his acts include the mass murder of over 700 battle-hardened magicians.
Damn.
His actions cause havoc to very powerful magic-based characters as well. The Phantom Stranger, he gets turned into a mouse.
It did take him like a long time to recuperate himself back to normal.
It took him all the entire series almost.
But he didn't kill him, which was wild.
No, he didn't have enough juice, basically.
At the time? Okay.
Because he would have needed the full support of the Presence to erase him, since the Presence is the one that created the Phantom Stranger. Kind of like how he can't technically destroy Eclipso. It's the same type of thing. Black Adam, he fights the Spectre whenever the spirit invades the kingdom of Kondak and causes plagues of destruction.
Damn, I bet you The Rock didn't like that.
He imprisoned Dr. Fate inside of his own helmet.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Which is fucked up. He destroys Madame Xanadu's eyes and make it incapable of restoration through magic. To prevent her from reading her magical tarot cards.
He stole the actual rabbit out of Harry Houdini's hat. He's like, fuck.
He made it so that Raven can no longer properly control her powers and hold within Trigon. So like she couldn't do anything anymore. Despite the intervention of the champion Captain Marvel, he killed Shazam.
Shazam.
And the Spectre also destroys the magical fueled kingdom of Atlantis during his rampage.
Aquaman's like, what the fuck did I do?
That's what it says. It's like Aquaman is devastated. He's like, what the fuck? I was the ruler.
They sure changed that in the movies. It was more like technologically based.
Yeah, but in the comic books for a long time it was magic based. In the Day of Vengeance, Infinite Crisis Special 1, which is the thicker book that I actually still have, but you've read it too. The Spectre kills Nabu, the last of the great lords of the Ninth Age, and the President's attention is finally drawn into action.
Didn't he fucking choke slam onto a rock?
Yeah.
Like a WWE choke slam?
Well, they were fighting, I think, in Egypt, I think it was, or like an ancient city. And you have Nabu, where he grows to like proportional size, like gigantic, and grabs the Spectre, and then the Spectre is like, I've done that since before you were born, and just like the size of the fucking planet. It's like,
I remember that a little bit. Didn't the Seven Deadly Sins escape too?
Yeah. Yep. And basically, Nabu's plan the entire time was to make the Spectre bark so loud in his words that the owner comes and gets their dog.
Like, shut your goddamn voice down there.
And he gets, pulled out of that.
Yeah.
Nabu reveals before dying that originally he and the other lords had been working towards forming the perfect host for the Spectre, but those plans were cut short because of Eclipse. The text of the story is unclear on who the Great Lords were. Nabu, introduced in 1942 as the powerful entity responsible for Kent Nelson becoming Dr. Fate, was one of the Lords of Order. The Spectre had apparently killed the others, along with their counterparts, the Lords of Chaos, with the exception of Mordru and Amethyst, whom he battled on Gemworld. Amethyst is among those gathered by the Phantom Stranger to aid in rebuilding the Rock of Eternity, and survives into the 10th Age. Alexander Luthor also revealed that he was indirectly responsible for the Spectre's actions in Day of Vengeance. Under Alexander Luthor's orders, the Psycho Pirate had given Eclipso's diamond to Jean Loring in prison.
Good job.
Making her manipulate the Spectre Force so that magic could be undone and used as fuel for Luthor's multiversal tower. So it was Alexander Luthor's fault that
Damn, really?
the Spectre went out of control, basically.
That's wild.
Then we have the little short segment with Crispus Allen. So in Gotham Central, number 38, Crispus Allen is killed by a corrupt policeman, coincidentally named Jim Corrigan. Not the same Corrigan that was formerly associated with
That's an
Spectre.
Easter egg then?
Yeah. While Allen's body is in the morgue, the Spectre Force is forced against its will to enter Crispus Allen, taking Allen as its new host. So this was right after Day of Vengeance. Basically, the Presence shoved the Spectre Force into Crispus Allen. It's like, there's your body, you son of a bitch. Then we move into the Spectre having taken place in events with the Blackest Night. During the 2009-2010 Blackest Night storyline, Black Hand reveals that the Spectre must be moved out of the way in order for the universe to be at peace. For that, he uses the Black Lantern Pariah, who unleashes more black rings, which latch themselves onto Crispus Allen's body, who is killed by Eclipso, turning him into a Black Lantern and sealing the Spectre force inside of its host. Changing into a giant version, the Black Lantern Spectre declares that it wants Hal Jordan back.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's a weird concept for the Spectre. The Phantom Stranger and Blue Devil worked together
I want my boo back.
because apparently Hal Jordan was the best of all the hosts that it had. Blue Devil and Phantom Stranger worked together in an attempt to distract the Black Lantern Spectre from seeking out Hal Jordan. The Phantom Stranger manages to temporarily free the real Spectre, only for the Black Lantern to repress it again and discard the Stranger and Blue Devil, leaving them to carry out its intention to cast vengeance on Hal Jordan. It's like, you left me. You ghosted me.
You left me on red. Son of a bitch.
In Coast City, Hal Jordan encounters the Black Lantern Spectre. Using the real Spectre force's power to protect itself, it is rendered immune to the combination of emotional light that usually destroy Black Lanterns. Knowing that the Spectre is afraid of Parallax, Jordan allows himself to be possessed by the fear entity once more, even though he had his redemption arc just so far back. The powers of the Spectre also become an interest to the Red Lantern Corps leader Atrocious, as he senses the Spectre's real nature despite being influenced by the Black Ring, an embodiment of rage and vengeance. Atrocious desires to harness the spirit's power for the Black Corps, to harness the spirit's power for his corpse and his own vengeance against the Guardians of the Universe. Parallax tears into the Black Lantern's body, freeing the real Spectre force and destroying the facsimile. Atrocious attempts to turn the Spectre into his own rage entity, but fails. The Spectre telling him that he is God's rage, not mortals. So, like, he can't be controlled by just a rage ring. It's not enough to contain his divine rage.
I don't like red, I like green, and he fucking dips.
Pretty much. I know, isn't that weird? He's like, you're not my boo. And the two of the true rage entity, and warning him not to trifle with it. Parallax then attempts to destroy the Spectre, who uses his own fear of the entity coupled with the love Carol Ferris feels for Hal, to separate Parallax from its host. The Spectre then confronts Necron, the master of the Black Lanterns, but discovers that Necron is without a soul and is thus immune to his powers. The Spectre is then removed from the battlefield by Necron to parts unknown.
Damn.
Yeah, so Necron was a little more powerful than you would think.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't destroy.
Was the next one just tiny one of those little blue aliens?
I don't think so. I think he was actual demon. I think. I'd have to go back and look again, though, in the Blackest Night series. Then we go into Brightest Day. In the Brightest Day storyline, the Spectre resurfaces again with Crispus Allen as its host in the hills of Montana on the trail of the Butcher, the Red Lantern entity. The Spectre confronts Atrocious once again whenever the two locate the Butcher, who is about to possess a man whose daughter had been killed by a death row inmate. Despite the Spectre's attempts to stop it, the Butcher proceeds, killing the criminal.
Damn.
The Butcher then attempts to possess Atrocious, revealing that Atrocious had a wife and children who were killed in the Manhunter's attack, which we kind of already knew. With the Spectre's help, Atrocious wards off the Butcher and imprisons it within the power battery. The Spectre attempts to judge the man that the Butcher possessed, but Atrocious argues that his method of judgment is flawed. The Spectre calls off his judgment and is unable to judge Atrocious, discovering that his mission is a holy one, although he warns Atrocious that this will not last forever. So Atrocious, being the Rage Lantern, technically what he's doing is holy. Like, he's only killing people that have done tremendously evil things. It's like, that won't last forever, though. Don't you worry. I'll come for you next time. Then there was a short little stint in Rising of Eclipso. The Spectre later appears in James Robinson's Rise of Eclipso storyline in Justice League of America, and the story Eclipso captures the angel Zariel and begins to torture him to draw the attention of the Spectre. The plan succeeds, with the Spectre traveling to the moon to rescue Zariel, only to be ambushed by Jade and the members of the Justice League Reserve roster. I don't know how that really works, because that makes it look like he's a little pussy.
Justice League Reserve roster?
The Reserve roster.
D-listers.
Pretty much. Eclipse.
I'm our man.
I can
The
only.
only problem is I took my pills 49 minutes ago, so I got 11 minutes.
We got 11 minutes. Let's get this on. Eclipso then absorbs the Spectre's immense powers, which then he uses to shatter the moon with a single blow from his sword before attempting to use them to fulfill his sinister agenda.
I did that. I shot the moon once. It's Luigi in Luigi's Mansion.
Did you?
Yeah.
Then he appeared in the New 52 whenever they retconned him and they depowered him completely. And then somehow he also accuses the Phantom Stranger of betraying him and all that kind of stuff.
You want my brother, Anakin?
It was weird. Like, to be fair, I'm not even going to go through the New 52. It's
Currently, they're high.
so horrible.
Nah, you don't have to.
It was bad because it was back to Jim Corrigan again. But like,
Man, like, can I get some fucking peace? Getting quiet. Jim Corrigan's like losing his shit.
yeah, like because
I'm exhausted.
the whole thing was Corrigan and his girlfriend are killed by the kidnappers that kidnap her, and he is then transformed into the Spectre, who accuses the Phantom Stranger of betraying him. As the Spectre is about to detect the Phantom Stranger, the Voice intervenes and sends the Spectre off to inflict his wrath on those that are most deserving of it. It's like it's a weird.
I wonder what the Phantom Stranger did.
That's what I'm saying. The Phantom Stranger really didn't do nothing. Like, they changed all the characters that I liked right before the New 52. They started messing up.
Wonder what he did. Guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think of it. Wasn't the New 52 had those weird like origins for all those characters?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like Narcissus or something?
And he was, I think,
I can't remember.
I think he was Cain.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, he was the first one.
Judas Iscariot.
Yeah, that was a weird concept. Like, the Phantom Stranger's whole thing is that you're not supposed to know who he is. He's just like, that's why he's the Phantom Stranger. It's
I want to play the Question in the new DC universe.
because you have questions.
Just give me a chance, DC. I'll be the perfect Question. It's like sort of like a comic relief character, but I'm not fully comic relief character. I would never have my own main episode, my own main movie, but I'm in everyone else's movies. I'm always there, questioning, wondering,
You do have a lot of good questions.
asking the right questions at the right times. I got a question, Darkseid. Why are you such a bitch? Right before he kills me.
Literally. He'll send you over to Skis.
You would do those mega beams.
No, you remember Skis?
Skis.
Yeah, the one that was getting Big Barda and Superman to bang.
Oh yeah.
He'll send you over there as an acolyte.
Making his fucking slutty movies.
All right.
Make you to a star.
Last three things for the Spectre. We have how he is characterized in the DC universe. So basically, within the DC universe, the Spectre is widely regarded as one of the most formidable beings, often considered to be among the most powerful superheroes in this universe. The Spectre is often portrayed by using other characters possessing...
Hey, Batman's like, here's how you beat him.
I know.
There you go, right here.
Including Dr. Fate, the Wizard Shazam, Nabu, Etrigan, and Captain Marvel, or Shazam, as he's really known.
Shazam.
Since they changed his name from the fucking wizard to the character now.
Shazam.
As an agent of the presence, the Spectre also demonstrates the ability to neutralize or undo forces created by his master, such as the Lords of Chaos and Order. His powers, at the peak of his abilities, the character is recognized as possessing near omnipotent magical and physical abilities, making him capable of virtually any feat. Which we kind of already knew.
He can still catch his hand. That would be as a question. He can still catch his hand.
Do you remember that there was that panel from a Superman comic where he flew directly at the Spectre because the Spectre was blocking him from something? I can't remember what. Maybe the source wall or something. But Superman flying at it like maximum speed and just bounces off of the Spectre. He's like, really? Really? Making him capable of virtually any feat, including the ability to control space, time, reality, and matter. So he's got 4 of the stones right there. Just on general. He also possesses an extensive mastery of other basic superpowers, such as energy manipulation, superhuman strength, flight, and possesses extensive mental capabilities capable of inducing illusions and hallucinations. Even when depowered by the presence, the Spectre remains widely regarded as the most potent spirit on Earth, possessing a diverse range of abilities. These include the capacity to become intangible, animate and possess objects, intrude upon an individual's mind and soul, and draw others into his own being where he reigns supreme. So he's the Sorcerer Supreme as well.
Still got 2 hands for him.
And the only weaknesses that he has...
These 2 fucking...
That would be hilarious. Batman, these hands.
It's like, oh shit.
The Spear of Destiny.
No, Spirit
That is the most
Destiny.
widely known one, yes.
Interesting.
Because
Where is it anyway?
the Spear of
Who
Destiny.
has it at the moment? The DC
current
universe?
comics? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of curious, actually.
Like, I don't know if
You should do a list of like artifacts in DC.
from DC,
Yeah, see where they're at the moment.
what, like the helm?
The helmet, the Spirit of Destiny.
I need to find some of those, don't I?
What?
Go through and show where they're currently at.
Yeah. What other good stuff is out there?
The only reason that, damn,
Wrong pipe.
the only reason that the Spear of Destiny even damages the Spectre at all, and the only reason it's able to kill divine creatures is due to it being bathed in Jesus' blood.
Bathed, man. I thought it was just a tip.
No.
Like just gush gallons out. Jesus Christ.
And this being basically, since the presence is like the Abrahamic God, and Jesus being God,
Yeah.
only the presence itself possesses true control over the Spectre's abilities, and that's the only thing that can actually kill him. The Spear of Destiny.
A Spirit of Destiny, huh?
I know, I haven't even seen that in a long time either.
That's all I need there.
Just grab that some bitch. Go get it from Constantine.
Fucking throw it. Ah!
No, it's just Constantine that has it.
He probably does have it.
He's got the Spear of Destiny still.
Somewhere in his fucking trench coat.
Where the bloody is it?
Here it is.
You seen that? Like they've tried to redo the Constantine movie again, and they can't get him to.
What? Keanu Reeves?
No, Keanu wants to do it.
Oh,
Like he's been saying that for a long time because they asked him, "What movie would you want to do if you could choose?"
The Matrix.
He's like, "Constantine. I want that role again."
Bill and Ted.
He did that already.
Even more excellent adventure.
Didn't they redo that already once?
Yeah, they did a third one.
Go.
It didn't. I don't like it. It had a lot of fanfare when it first came out,
That's what I thought.
and then like it came out, then like it kind of just died away.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else
It does
about
make me wonder sometimes. Like you hear all this hype before a movie comes out. The movie comes out, and then there's no more fucking trailers for the movie.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Guess they let it. I guess there's only so much like funding you have to do, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure like the really good movies,
Mhm.
that make a lot of money, that they can continue to funnel more advertisement.
Yeah.
So that's why you keep seeing them in theaters. Like you see like shit like you watch the Avengers trailer for like fucking 6 months after the movie came out. I'm like, God dang.
Yeah, that was crazy though.
But yeah, like something like, I guess it just depends on how much money they have for budget. Because like a lot of it goes into like a lot of it, like, you know, pre-production, post-production, or no, pre-production, production, post-production, and then you have the fucking like actual
Marketing.
advertisement. Yeah, the
Yeah.
marketing, and that takes a chunk of the money too.
Well, usually they say whatever the movie costs to make, double it, and then that's the full
Yeah.
price of the movie. Because marketing alone is expensive as fuck.
Nowadays, yeah, or maybe not. I mean, just put that shit on YouTube,
You would think.
blast that shit all over YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and, you know, Pornhub. Just launch it everywhere.
Make a fake OnlyFans for it.